Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the main card fights for UFC 242, Khabib versus Poirier. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the main card. So in our first fight on the main card, we have in the lightweight division, Taisumov versus Carlos Diego Ferreira. So this is a pretty interesting fight right here. You got Diego Ferreira, who's looking the best he's ever looked. His striking is truly coming along. In his last fight, he fought Rustam Khabib, a long-time lightweight contender or lightweight, a solid fighter in the division, like in Khabib, solid sambo practitioner. He pretty much dominated him on the feet. And then when Khabib got takedowns, he was able to turn those takedowns into bad positions for Khabib, threatening with submissions, like in several times almost coming close to getting submissions, and pretty much dominated that whole fight, or whether it be on the ground or whether it be on the striking. So he's showing a lot of improvements, and I think he's on like a 4 or 5 fight winning streak, so looking real solid. You got Taisumov, who I think he lost like once in the UFC so far. He's been looking solid in his career so far. But to get to the point of this matchup right here, Taisumov, I think it comes down to Ferreira get Taisumov to the ground. I think Ferreira's striking is coming along very well, and maybe with the threat of the takedown, that can certainly cause Taisumov some issue and make him worry about the takedown, which can open up striking opportunities. But with Taisumov having a 87% takedown defense ratio, and Ferreira only having a 22% takedown offense rate, so Taisumov has a high takedown defense, and Ferreira has a very low accuracy with takedown offense, and has yet to take down a really high-level opponent. He's taken down like some newcomers like Kyle Nelson twice, but other than that, he really hasn't taken down any other person. Most times, his opponents take him down instead of him the other way. It's not really like he's the one taking you down. It's very few and far between him ever getting a shot, and has yet to secure a takedown on a high-level opponent. With Taisumov's takedown defense, and he also has solid grappling of his own in Taisumov, so I think he'll be good to defend the takedown. Then I think on the feet, Taisumov is just on a different level. Though Ferreira is improving and showing leaps and bounds, I think Taisumov is just on a different level than what he's at. I think he could pick him apart on the feet and just really tag Ferreira up. And Ferreira really doesn't have the best chin. He's improving very well, but it's not your chin's ever going to get improving. He has a pretty suspect chin. Taisumov has a crazy amount of power. And not only does he have power, he's very sharp, very accurate. He doesn't really miss very many shots. He puts his shots right on the money. And if it's not touching you, it's setting you up to get touched, and he's very scary on the feet. And with Ferreira not really being able to secure a takedown, I think that's going to set him up perfectly for Taisumov's game. And I think he'll be gaming the fight and try and get takedown, try to set stuff up, and try to, showing those new wrinkles in his striking. But I think eventually Taisumov figures him out and is able to set him up for the big strikes and puts him away. And I think that's in the second round. So in this fight, I got Taisumov via second round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the heavyweight division, Blaydes versus Shamil Abdurakhimov. So Shamil, I'm gonna call him Shamil. That last name gonna make me stutter, but yeah, Shamil. He's been looking much better than he's ever looked in these past couple fights, especially with that win over Tybura, knocking him out. Been looking solid, but Blaydes really just shown to be the better fighter in my opinion. Stuff can definitely happen. I'm not saying it's a guarantee that Blaydes is gonna win, but I think Blaydes wrestling just on a different level. Though Shamil doesn't really have negligent takedown or poor takedown defense, Blaydes takedowns, unless he's fighting Ngannou, are pretty much money. He could just toss you around, flip you around, strike him along well, got a solid chin. And mixing those takedowns, whether it be in a clinch or just to stop Abdurakhimov, like Shamil, from getting off those punches or making a striking matchup just by initiating the clinch or getting takedowns, I think it's really going to throw Shamil's game off. And I think in 3 rounds, I think Blaydes can fight at a very high pace, going for a lot of takedowns, a lot of clinch attempts, and really neutralizing Shamil in a lot of ways. And I think even on the feet, I don't think he'll really be an advantage in that area, but I think he definitely can hold his own with Shamil, at least with the threat of the takedown being constantly there. I think he can just really control this fight from start to finish. I think he puts on a dominant wrestling performance against Shamil Abdurakhimov. So in this fight, I got Blaydes via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the lightweight division, Makhachev versus Ramos. So this is a very good fight right here. You got Ramos, who I think is undefeated. Now he's not undefeated. He got, I think, 1 loss in the UFC, and that was upper weight class. But so far, this weight class undefeated, and so far with a full camp undefeated. But he has heavy hands, and he has world class BJJ. But he's going against one of the best AKA products in Makhachev. Makhachev's wrestling and sambo, where really his sambo will be able to keep it on the feet, defend the takedowns, which won't allow Ramos to get to where he wants to be. And then his range and ever-improving striking will allow him to keep the shorter, stockier Ramos at bay. I think in the early, early part of the first round, Ramos will be most dangerous with that power, with that grappling. He might even be able to secure a takedown early. Maybe that'd be his best shot. I'm just all muscle, not really fully technique. Because if just technique, he'll never get anything. But muscle, he might be able to get something out of it. But I think Islam Makhachev's scramble ability is just that good. So even if he gets a takedown, Makhachev will likely spring right back up. Matter of fact, he probably won't even be able to complete the takedown. Might be able to get him lifted up in the air for a little bit. Might be able to bring him down. But Makhachev probably spring right back up. And then just go back to striking at range. And maybe even mixing his own takedown. I think that first part, he's going to more so want to keep that range, wear Ramos down, then start implementing his own wrestling, his own grappling, and breaking Ramos down and using the fact that their frames and their builds and their styles against Ramos been longer, more athletic, not more athletic, but more longer, more durable as far as cardio and pace and fighter and scrambling fighter against Ramos, who's stocky, powerful, and dangerous. Get him out of that first round where he's most dangerous, and then kind of drown him in a way. So I think in the first round it's going to be kind of tough. But as the fight goes on, I think he just breaks Ramos down, gets him out of the element. Second round starts to wear on him more and start to, start to bridge, break that gap away, create that distance, and really start to wear on Ramos and make it very clear that the fight is shifting towards Islam. And I think the third round, he just puts it all on him, puts him on the feet, puts it on him on the feet, takes him down, lands some ground and pound. I think he TKOs Ramos in the third round. So in this fight, he got Islam Makhachev via third round TKO. Now to our co-main event, we have in the lightweight division, Edson Barboza versus Paul Felder. So this is a rematch. These two fought like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe less, maybe more. But yeah, they fought in the past. This is a rematch. I don't think much has really changed between these two. Paul Felder certainly got some good wins here and there. He also got a couple losses here and there since then, but I don't think really much has changed. Or Edson Barboza lost a couple more times as well. You kind of see how you can beat Edson Barboza. But the other thing is still like, Edson Barboza was already kind of exposed in the past, even before the Paul Felder fight, and Paul Felder didn't really do what he was supposed to do in that fight. So I think in this fight, been a 3-round fight. Edson Barboza coming off loss. I don't know, he's not coming off loss, is he? Well, he might. Yeah, he is coming off loss. He's coming off loss to Gaethje. Edson Barboza really usually responds real well after losses. I think he's gonna come in there game probably sharper than ever before again. Knowing that he beat Paul Felder before, maintaining that range, not allowing Paul Felder to get in on the inside, land those powerful shots, and just digging kicks to Felder's legs, kicks to his body, and just mix up high and low in all ranges, legs, body, head, and just keeping that distance like he did in the first fight. I think Paul Felder's going to try to get in more on the inside this time, seeing how other people beat him, get in, try to get dirty, but Edson Barboza is going to definitely be on his bike, definitely mixing up to the body and the head with punches and kicks, and I think that's going to be kind of similar to the first fight. I think it's going to be closer than the first fight. Felder's going to have a little bit more success, but really it's going to be more of what happened the last time I've seen this fight. I don't think there's going to be no stoppage though, because Paul Felder is that tough. But other than that, I think it's going to be more of the same of what happened last fight. Just a little bit tougher because Paul Felder's going to make some adjustments. But so will Barboza. That's why it's just going to be more of the same, a little bit closer, but still Barboza just throwing that volume, just throwing the sharper strike, the heavier shots, the more telling shots, and also the more flashy shots. And those flashy shots also sway the judge, like those spinning kicks to the body, spinning kicks to the head, or attempts at them. Those heavy leg kicks, those switch kicks, that's all going to be making the judges, it's going to be drawing the judges' eyes. So on top of him landing the cleaner strikes, the flash is going to favor him as well. And I think he wins a decision. It's clear cut, but going to be closer than the last time. So in this fight, I have Edson Barboza via decision. Now to our main event, we have in the lightweight division, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Dustin Poirier. Khabib Nurmagomedov making the second defense of his lightweight title. So this is a good fight right here. Well, Poirier is also an interim champion, so this is a champion versus champion match. So got to give him his title. So the champion versus the interim champion, champion versus champion. A good matchup right here. Some people are a lot of people are writing off Poirier for no good reason. In my opinion, Poirier is by far the best opponent that Nurmagomedov has ever faced. You might say Michael Johnson beat him, or you might say Conor McGregor beat him, or I might say both. But when you talk about fights, you don't just talk about who beat that, or MMA math. You talk about how these fighters match up against one another. And Poirier is the most complete fighter that Nurmagomedov has ever faced by far. Conor McGregor, he does have some grappling. People sleep on his grappling. It's not as bad as they say. It's not even bad at all. It's definitely above average as far as MMA goes, especially as even the top level MMA go, even for lightweight. It's above average for sure. Conor McGregor's grappling is. But as far as Poirier, he's not just I think he's pretty like a slept-on exceptional grappler. I'm not saying he's like no BJJ world champion level, but as far as opportunistic submissions and just setting up submissions and grappling, and for MMA itself, he's among the best. And I say Nurmagomedov mostly has fought guys who kind of were fall into the striker category. Really, we look at most of the best wins of Khabib's career inside the UFC had come against, strikers. There's a few grapplers here and there, but not the highest levels of grapplers. Never really fought Tony Ferguson. Never really fought like a Jim Miller. Never fought this, never fought that. Never barely ever fought. I don't think he never even really fought another wrestler. He could say he fought Abel Trujillo, but Abel Trujillo is not no cream of the crop fighter. He was kind of supposed to be at one point, but he never was a solidified true top like cream of the crop. So you got Dustin Poirier, like I said, he got the striking, he got the grappling, he got the submissions, he got all of it. And that's the first time Nurmagomedov's going to be fighting a guy at this level. And it's the first time he's ever going to fight a guy this hungry. This guy that had been slept on his whole career. And now he's getting that shine and he's going to be hungry. He's liking it and he's only getting better. And now he's starting to fix those small holes that held him from getting to this position for so long. So this is the dangerous fight, most dangerous fight for Nurmagomedov in his career. And also when you look at the AKA's current streak of bad luck at the moment, or lack of success at the moment, you could kind of put that in there, but we don't really do that. We're going to do as far as how they match up against each other. So when I see this fight, I see Dustin Poirier, like I said, the most complete fighter that Nurmagomedov has ever faced. I think he's going to give him a lot of fits. And you might say, oh, Poirier's grappling this and grappling that, or his takedown defenses and that. But over the past couple years, I think he only get like 5 years, he's only given about 4 takedowns, only given up about 4 takedowns and no more than 1 takedown in a fight. So he hasn't really given up that many takedowns over these past couple years. And he's never been a guy that gets taken down and laid on. So he's more than game and more than dangerous enough for Nurmagomedov. I actually think no matter how long this fight goes, for however long it goes, whether it be to a decision or like a 3-round fight, I think Poirier gives Nurmagomedov his toughest test of his whole career yet. So I think like how this fight kind of playing out, I see that Khabib is either going to come out hungry in the first round and try to put it on Poirier early to set a statement, or he'll come out kind of a measured stance, a measured type of speed and a measured pace. I'm kind of stuttering a little bit, but a measured pace in this fight. But either way, I think it's either like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. And by that, I mean, like, if Khabib comes out aggressive, he'll likely win the first round. He'll likely win, like, maybe the 3rd round, like the first and fourth, whatever the case. I think if I want to say I was going to play out, let's say in an aggressive way, I think Khabib wins the first round because he wants to make a statement. Then in the second round, Poirier is able to defend the takedown, keep it on the feet, and maybe win the fight just by off his volume on the feet and land some damage. Not necessarily maybe too crazy, but enough that's going to steal the round for him in that second round. Then the 3rd round, Khabib comes back on heavy to make up for that second round. Then the 4th round, he takes his typical breather round, like when he goes long, like when he fought Conor McGregor, he took the 3rd off. When he fought Quinn, I think he took the 3rd off as well. When these fights where the grappling is not going exactly easy, like he just takes them down and pounds them, then they submit. When they don't do that, they may be able to defend the takedowns or at least give him some fits on the ground, at least make him work. He kind of takes rounds off. So I feel like he's going to take a round off in this fight. It's either going to be the 3rd or 4th, and that's going to be another round for Poirier. And I feel like in the 5th round, to win the fight, he's going to go heavy on the wrestling, get that takedown, get that control, at least controlled about half of that round to win the decision. So I think that's kind of how it's going to go. Like, he's going to take one of those breather rounds, and one of these rounds, Poirier is going to sneak. But I feel like it's going to be a 3-2 type of decision for Khabib. And then you might say, before I get anything, styles makes fights. So you might say, oh, he beat this guy, he beat that guy. But Poirier is the better striker. Khabib is the better grappler as far as just overall grappling. I would say Poirier is a better submission, like as far as snapping up submissions and actually technically submitting people. But as far as Khabib, just control-wise and grappling-wise and position-wise, I think Khabib is better grappling in that aspect. So it's going to be a lot of different things, like styles clashing against each other, and they will present opportunities for Poirier. But I think at this point, Khabib is just too solid right now. He's too on top of his game right now, and I feel like he's going to make the right adjustments in the fight. And like I said, when you get that much control on somebody, control somebody for a large portion of the fight, it's hard to beat them on a decision, hard to beat them without a finish. And Poirier will have his opportunities, but right now, Khabib, I think his chin's too solid, and he's smart enough to know when to fight. Stand on the feet is not smart. He needs to switch positions. I think he'll be able to go to those takedowns when needed to, win these rounds and seal himself a decision. But I think it's going to be a competitive fight. It's going to be exciting. But Khabib's going to use that fight IQ, use that veteran experience, and use his skills that he's been blessed with and he's trained and honed in that grappling, that sambo at the right times to get those control, land a ground pound. But like I said, best fight, the toughest fight of Khabib's career, but he'll make the right adjustments in the fight to win the fight and utilize his skills the way he's supposed to use them at the time that he's supposed to use them. And in this fight, I have Khabib Nurmagomedov via decision. And that concludes my fight predictions for the main card of UFC 242, Khabib versus Poirier. And as always, thanks for watching.